In a world where non-magic folks are sentenced to death, Burnedead lacks magical abilities, but more than makes up for it with his monstrous strength. But upon his secret revealed and threatened by authorities, he chooses to enroll in the prestigious Eastern Magic Academy to protect his adoptive father. During his time at the academy, Mash performs several meaningful friendships, all while maintaining the disguise of his magiclessness. Despite relying on his physical prowess, Mash excels in every challenge. He passes an outdoor class test and earns a gold coin for their dorm. His friend Lance cautions him about their mutual nemesis, the infamous Lang dorm, advising him against wandering alone. However, Mash disregards this advice and finds himself venturing alone, only to lose his way. To Mash's surprise, he stumbles upon the epicenter of an exclusive organization known as Magia Lupus, with Lang dorm controlling it. Mash engages in conversation with Abel, the meeting's leader, and a magic user. He gains insight into the goal of the organization known as Magia Lupus. Their objective is to restore a survival of the fittest mentality, believing that equality for all hinders the advancement of strong individuals. Abel views humans as akin to beasts and advocates for the elimination of the weak among them. In an attempt to persuade Mash, Abel offers to let him go in exchange for a gold coin. However, Mash, displaying his cockiness, adamantly refuses. To thwart him, the leader of Magia Lupus launches a magical puppet to steal Mash's gold coin. Nonetheless, the magicless boy easily overcomes the puppet. He discovers that cutting its strings restores the human trapped within, who turns out to be Silva. It becomes evident that these magical dolls are actually manipulated individuals controlled by the elite organization. The leader then deploys another clown-like puppet that effortlessly snatches Mash's gold coin away. Realizing his mistake in underestimating his opponents, Mash reluctantly accepts defeat. In an unfortunate turn of events, he accidentally stumbles over Silva, nearly killing him. Deciding to relinquish the gold coin, Mash escorts Silva to the nurse's office for treatment. Before departing, Mash challenges the leader, asserting that nothing can prevent him from becoming a divine visionary. After he leaves, the members of the organization realize that Mash had employed a lightning-fast sleight of hand to swap the gold coin with the puppet's button, leaving them shocked. Later, Silva regains consciousness in the infirmary, devoid of any recollection of the time he spent as a doll. Silva finds himself bewildered by Mash's act of saving him without concern for their enmity, solely because it was the right thing to do. Meanwhile, Lance and Dot engage in a heated argument while seated in Finn's and Mash's room. Their dispute comes to a halt when Mash enters. Lance requests his assistance in devising a strategy to acquire more coins, while Dot's thoughts only revolve around finding a girlfriend. While Finn is concerned about the lack of unity among the boys, suddenly Lemon arrives there and takes them to see the magical scale display. It reveals that Mash is possessing Adler's only gold coin, whereas Lang has accumulated 15 coins. The members of Lang dorm have been launching attacks and stealing coins from other dormitories. Lemon implores Mash to work harder and obtain more coins, as the upperclassmen of their dorm and absent due to off-campus internships. Determined to counter Lang dorm's sinister plot, Lance and Mash resolve to confront them directly. Subsequently, Mash finds himself cleaning the owl hut as instructed by the headmaster, with Lance joining him. Unexpectedly, they are assaulted by two members of Magia Lupus, 6th Magic Fang Olor, who transforms into a shark, and 7th Magic Fang Answer, who controls a magical shuriken. The members wager gold coins on their battle outcomes. Olore transports Mash to an underwater pocket dimension, where he pursues him relentlessly. Meanwhile, Lance confronts Answer. Initially hesitant to use his magic due to the presence of owls, Lance sustains multiple injuries. Eventually, he utilizes his Graviole magic to gather the owls in one corner, enticing them with a bag of feed. Answer, who had previously mocked Lance as a member who was weak of the Crown family, is astounded to witness his act of saving the owls. Lance effortlessly overwhelms Answer and his shuriken, crushing them with his gravity magic. The Magia Lupia member is perplexed by the stark difference in strength between him and Lance, even though they possess the same double lines. Lance imparts a valuable lesson to his opponent, emphasizing how those who fight solely for themselves are destined to be outmatched by those who fight with a purpose, like himself. Meanwhile, Mash, despite his belief that he cannot swim, effortlessly glides through the water at a staggering speed of over 10 kilometers per hour, displaying superhuman abilities. This development unsettles Olore, prompting him to further transform into a sea shark form. However, Mash relentlessly strikes him with immense force, easily overpowering Olore and rendering his magic useless. As Answer and Olore lie unconscious on the ground, Lance claims their gold coin. Suddenly, a masked member of Magia Lupus emerges, possessing the ability to nullify spells and moving faster than Mash can even throw a punch. This mysterious figure's sole intention is to retrieve their fallen comrades. Mash attempts to defeat him, but his speed proves insufficient against the swift and agile masked individual. The Magia Lupus member departs after successfully retrieving Answer and Dolore, promising a future encounter with Mash. As he leaves, the mysterious figure realizes that Mash managed to crack his mask without relying on any magic, leading him to wonder if he possesses a uniqueness comparable to his own. The masked figure steals another gold coin, this time from the Magma Master of the Orca Dorm. Meanwhile, after their recent encounter with Magia Lupus, Lance is continuously strategizing to confront their adversaries. On the other hand, Mash seems lost in his own world, more concerned about his cream puffs than the intricate dynamics of school politics. Lance desires to launch an offensive on the Magia Lupus at their dormitory, but the locations of the dorms remain deliberately concealed, rendering them unknown to the competitors. While he discusses the strategy with Mash, Lemon urgently arrives and ushers them to the infirmary. Once there, they discover Tom, who is in a state of confusion after experiencing nightmarish visions. Tom describes his dream of being trapped in a dark box, unable to utter a word. Furthermore, he discloses that his magical abilities have been completely drained, leaving him devoid of any magical energy. A dozen other students also lie in the infirmary, experiencing similar nightmares and suffering from magical depletion. These distressing events unfold while the headmaster is absent, having been summoned by the Magical Bureau. Deeply concerned by the student's condition, Lemon presents Mash with a handmade cream puff plush toy as a symbol of good luck. Lance firmly believes that the Magia Lupus are responsible for these nightmarish experiences. Consequently, he, Mash, Finn, and Dot take it upon themselves to patrol the school overnight. It leads them to discover Lemon transformed into one of Abel's dolls. They follow her until they reach a hidden door, which Lance reveals with his magic. After Lance and Dot's failed attempts to magically unlock it, Mash employs his power and strategy to tear the door off its hinges. Upon entering it, they find themselves in an underground arena, presumably serving as the Magia Lupus's hideout. They discover a battlefield, additionally encountering a student enlisted by the Magia's third Fang. He challenges them to a combat, wagering gold coins. Jealous of the student's attractiveness, Dot assumes the responsibility of engaging in a fight. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Headmaster Wahlberg receives a warning from the Bureau of Magic regarding the recent escape of 6 death row prisoners, aided by Innocent Zero. Back in the underground arena, a fierce battle unfolds with Dot emerging victorious against his opponent. However, their triumph is short-lived, as Mash and his friends are suddenly ensnared by a powerful magical spell and pulled beneath the ground. Separated from each other, they find themselves alone in secret underground passages and rooms, now confronted with the upper-class men of the Magia Lupus. In a vast empty room, Lance senses an ominous presence behind him. Suddenly, Worth Metal, the third Fang, confronts him ready for a battle. Meanwhile, Finn and Dot find themselves together in another room. They encounter Love Cute, the fifth Fang, and Milo Genius, the fourth Fang of the Magia Lupus. Realizing that their adversaries possess extraordinary magical talents, Finn succumbs to panic, while Dot sees this as an opportunity. He highlights that defeating double-liners who possess extraordinary dual magical abilities and magical talents would elevate their own status, making Finn and Dot formidable magicians. Elsewhere, Mash navigates through a dark passage, seemingly unperturbed by the challenges that lie ahead. Suddenly, the familiar masked individual from before appears, illuminating the entire passage, introducing himself as Abyss Razor, the second Fang of Magia Lupus. He commends Mash for his swift attack during their previous encounter. To Mash's surprise, Abyss has somehow deduced that the boy is unable to wield magic. He openly discusses this revelation, assuring Mash that there is no cause for concern. In fact, Abyss claims to understand his predicament, having also experienced societal rejection. However, the second Fang clarifies that while he acknowledges Mash's reasons for being at the Eastern Magic Academy, Abyss too possesses his own motivations. The second Fang readied himself to launch an attack against Mash, yet the latter remains resolute, displaying unwavering confidence as he prepares to confront Abyss with all his strength and determination. Worth Metal decides to challenge Lance, underestimating him and assuming he is weak. However, Lance surprises him by confidently countering with his gravity magic known as Graviole. Worth, although impressed by Lance's strong magic, brushes it off as he already knows Lance's specialty as a member of the Crown family, skilled in gravity magic. To Lance's surprise, the third Fang uses clone magic and attacks him from behind, but he skillfully defends himself against all the clones, destroying them effortlessly. Not one to give up easily, Worth creates mud clones to further challenge Lance. Once again, he uses his Graviole incantation to attack and eliminate the clones. However, the third Fang swiftly catches Lance off guard, immobilizing his feet with mud and attacking him with mud balls. Worth then attempts to lure Lance into joining the Magia Lupus by emphasizing his precious bloodline and the advantages of being part of their organization. He tries to manipulate Lance, stating that his skills are being wasted among inferior magicians, referring to Lance's companions as flunkies and trash. Lance firmly states that his skills do not depend on any specific environment to flourish. With his gravity magic, he pushes his opponent against the side walls. Worth, however, conceals himself within the wall, using mud as a cushion to protect himself from the impact. Thinking this trick has gone unnoticed, Worth is caught off guard when Lance throws rocks at him, hitting Worth in the face. Worth emerges from the wall, wondering if Lance has already figured out his strategy. Lance taunts Worth, highlighting that his strength is merely a result of his environment, emphasizing his own superiority. Worth acknowledges the truth given his innate abilities and elite education. Unfazed, he reveals a potion that enhances magical power given to Magia Lupus members as a reward. Empowered, he summons a massive mud monster, using a higher tier magic called Mudoro's Second Death. Lance surprises him by responding with his own higher tier magic, Graviole's Second Death, unleashing torture poles that tear the mud monster apart. He reveals that Second Death is a higher tier magic only allowed for certain individuals with dual abilities. Worth proudly claims that he is worthy of such high tier magic, while Lance is worthless for associating with what he considers inferior magicians, the Adlers. With these words, he attacks using Mud Monster. Shockingly, Lance retaliates by performing a high tier magic spell called Graviole's Second Death. He unleashes torture poles that exert a strong gravitational pull from all directions. The force from them tears the mud monster apart. Defeated and feeling worthless, Worth reflects on how his father always belittled him despite his efforts. Lance, empathizing with Worth's state of mind, shares his own experiences of societal expectations, all the while recalling his sister's aspirations. As he walks away, Lance appreciates Worth's efforts despite his flawed ways. This makes Maddle realize that his pursuit of worthiness was driven only by societal pressure. Meanwhile, Mash relentlessly attacks Abyss, but his strikes prove futile against his incredible speed. Abyss wounds Mash with his sword, mocking his desire for a peaceful life. The masked man then reveals a device draining Lemon's magic and threatens to take away his powers completely. Undeterred, Mash remains confident and warns Abyss against following through. The Magia Lupus members activate his acceleration magic, uttering the incantation for Accelerate Sphere. As his speed increases, he launches a flurry of sword attacks, striking Mash from all angles and inflicting wounds upon him. Finally, Abyss manages to plunge his sword into Mash's abdomen, but to his surprise, he cannot remove it. Mash tightens his abdominal muscles, commenting on their strength, and then swiftly breaks Abyss's mask using his headbutt, revealing a red eye. Abyss explains it is a devil's eye, capable of nullifying magic. He recounts his tormented life and regrets his existence, acknowledging Mash's fortunate family. Abyss resumes his attack, chanting the incantation for Accelerate Second Death, creating a force field around them. Within the field, speed is absorbed from anyone inside and transferred to Abyss, rendering Mash slow. The evil eye man once again starts attacking Mash from every direction. The latter counters by shattering the ground beneath Abyss, slowing him down. Mash overwhelms his opponent with different muscle techniques, shattering his sword. Mash's raw strength defeats Abyss, who recalls his tormented past when his evil eye emerged. His parents imprisoned him and tried to kill him. Now Abyss's sole purpose is to serve Lord Abel, even if he is just seen as a tool. Abyss grapples with his inner turmoil, understanding that he has let Abel down, and will be rejected by everyone once again. Mash assures him that his evil eye doesn't matter, and extends friendship. Abyss in turn warns Mash of Abel's true strength, and predicts his eventual hatred towards him due to the Devil's Eye. However, Mash remains determined to defeat Abel, and remains firm on never ever despising Abyss. With a farewell, he invites Magia Lupus members to enjoy cream puffs together in the future. The end, for now. Thanks for watching. If you like this recap, please consider to like and subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell to be notified of any new recaps. And while you're at it, check out this new anime recap appearing on the screen.